You are a corn and hog farmer, is this correct?
Well, no, I don't do hogs. I use that as a joke for you.
Okay.
So we won't go
I
into
fell
the
for it,
joke.
hook, line, and sinker.
No, I wouldn't know what to do with a hog. But, yeah, I'm going to go home and try to plant tonight yet because it finally dried out. So.
You're planting corn tonight. You've made big bets on ethanol, and you believe in it as an alternative energy.
Well, I think that's a complicated question. I have not made any investments in any ethanol plants or anything because I think that's in its own sense is like a lot of other investments. There's going to be people that make money and lose money, and it's an area that it is pretty complicated how it works out.
Do you think ethanol is the panacea to our energy plans?
I'm no expert on, but I don't think so. But my gut reaction, just from listening to everything, is that it is not. That doesn't mean other biofuels might be of interest, but I have not been impressed with the case for ethanol.
People blame the incentives to corn farmers as spurring this commodities boom and the food inflation that we've seen.
It's got to be a factor. I mean, if you take some of the corn that otherwise would have gone into the food supply and move it over someplace else, it's going to have an effect on the pricing.
Yeah, but you have to remember that corn in the United States, only 10% of it goes into human consumption. So I think there's a lot of other factors as well. I think he's right. I mean, it is a factor, but there's a lot of other factors as well.
You know, Bill, you from Seattle, the home base of Starbucks, that they've had some real problems and commodity prices, a slowing economy. Do you see that affecting your business at all?
Well, so far the Microsoft numbers have been very healthy, but in no way can the technology sector be immune if the economy is slowing down. In fact, the technology spending is often the thing that goes up the most as the economy grows and goes down the most as people are seeing the economy contract. So we are seeing good numbers so far, but all the discussion may put people in a more conservative mode. So we're trying to make sure that we've got our bases covered.
What has surprised you the most about your business? I mean, obviously your gaming department has grown significantly. Do you play any of the Microsoft games?
I play mostly bridge on the internet.
That's about as high tech as you're getting.
Yeah. I haven't learned many new things lately.
No, Warren's not in the Xbox target audience.
Right.
Incidentally, in 1991, you mentioned Starbucks, when I went out and first met Bill, I met his dad, and his dad said, there's a little company out here called Starbucks you really ought to look at.
You're kidding. Back then, right?
That's what he said, yeah.
Do you wish you had?
Well, I wish I'd done a lot of things, but things
What's the biggest miss that you didn't get in on that you wish you had?
Well, I don't worry about the things that are outside my circle of competence, okay. But it's things I understand that I don't do, and there have been a few things where I've started to buy them and then they've moved up, and I've stopped at a tiny fraction of where we should have gone. So there have been actually Fannie Mae in the early 1980s, Walmart in the mid 1990s. Both of those deals would have made us as much as $10 billion, and I managed to absolutely minimize the profits down to just a tiny amount.
You know the CEO of Costco very well. You
yeah,
admire
Jim
that
Sinegal.
business.
Oh, there's no question about it. Jim Sinegal's done a sensational job running that, and my partner Charlie has owned some, has been on the board. We own a little at Berkshire, but we should have owned a lot. As a matter of fact, there was a French company that owned a big piece of it. I got called out of a bridge tournament because their stock was going to be sold. I went out to see Jim, and again, temporary insanity, which seems to occur more and more often as I go through life, and I didn't buy it.
What small, high-tech company that ended up being huge, Mr. Gates, did you miss out on buying for Microsoft to be a part of the family, or that you wish you had gotten in on?
Well, the Microsoft strategy's always been primarily about organic growth, hiring smart engineers and going after new things. And so we don't really regret anything we didn't do in the acquisition area. Clearly there's things where we love the investments we made. We've come out very well. There's some things on the consumer side where we wish we'd invested earlier. Yeah. There's some like internet TV or tablet computing where the market hasn't developed yet, but I'm sure glad we're there making the breakthroughs.
So you think that might be a good beachhead to establish already, internet television?
Yeah, we've got a product media room that we've got customers rolling out more and more, and I think it's going to change the way people use TV. It's going to make it more personalized, more interactive. We've been investing for over a decade, and I'm consistent in thinking that'll be huge.
I can't imagine Warren Buffett trying to figure out how to get the internet TV on.
No, I'll rent a kid.
Yeah.
I'll get some 6-year-old in the neighborhood, just give him, a lollipop from Seas every now and then.
Bill's still trying to get me to do my own email.
You don't do your own email?
No, he can't believe that.
What is wrong with you people?
I don't know.
Oh, my gosh.
I just write on the email they fax me, and I fax it back, and then so when you get an email from me, I didn't type it. So
Fax. That's it, right? I mean,
I have a whole warehouse full of fax machines in case they go out of style or something.
Like father, like son.
Yeah, right. But not exactly, though. How late tonight will you likely be out there planting?
I'll go as late as I can, maybe midnight.
Planting corn.
Yeah.
That's something I have no ambition to. I was on a farm for a month one time, and they threw me back.
Wasn't your first investment as a child, you bought a farm?
I bought a farm.
How old were you?
I was probably about 13 or 14.
He bought a farm when he was 13.
It was only 40 acres.
What happened?
Well, it was up in Thurston County, and once a year, I'd get a little check from the farmer, and actually had oats on the thing, and he'd say, you sold so many bushels of oats and such. And I thought, how the hell do I know whether I sold it? And then he sold them at $1.09 or something. It did not strike me as the most reliable form of investing.